Everyone, welcome back to Easy English Channel. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mark. It's great to be here again. How are you doing today, Sarah?
I'm doing great, Mark. Actually, I'm feeling very motivated today. I've been thinking a lot about the future lately.
That is perfect, because that is exactly what we are talking about in today's episode. We're going to talk about future plans, big dreams, and how we set goals.
Yes, and for our listeners who are learning English, pay close attention. We'll be using different ways to talk about the future. Sometimes we use will, sometimes going to, and sometimes even the present continuous. It can be tricky, right?
Definitely. But don't worry, we'll make it natural. So, Sarah, let's start with you. What are your big plans? Do you have any specific goals for the next year?
Well, first of all, I'm going to improve my Spanish. I've been saying that for years, but this time I'm serious. I've already signed up for a class that starts next Monday.
Oh, nice. So it's a fixed plan. You're starting next Monday. That's why you used the present continuous, right? I'm starting.
Exactly. It's on my calendar, and I think it'll be a challenge, but I'll probably enjoy it once I get into a routine.
I'm sure you will. I think learning a language is all about the why. Why are you doing it?
I want to travel to South America next winter. I'm going to visit Peru and Argentina. I think it'll be much better if I can speak to the locals. What about you, Mark? You're always busy with some project. What are you going to do in 2026?
Well, my main goal is related to my career. I'm going to start my own photography business. I've been working for other people for too long.
That's amazing. Are you nervous?
A little bit. I think it will be difficult at the beginning. I'll have to find my own clients and manage my own schedule. But I believe it will be worth it. I'm actually meeting a web designer tomorrow to talk about my website.
Wow, you're really moving fast. I'm meeting a designer, another fixed arrangement. I love how organized you are.
I try, but plans often change. I might change my mind about the name of the business. I haven't decided on a name yet. Do you have any ideas?
I'll think about it and let you know. Maybe Mark's Moments? No, that's too cheesy. I'll find something better.
Please do. Anyway, let's talk about health. Everyone always has future goals for health. Are you going to join a gym or start a new diet?
Actually, I'm not going to join a gym. I hate gyms. They're too crowded. Instead, I'm going to start running in the park every morning. I think the fresh air will make me feel more energetic.
That's a good point. I think I'll join you sometimes. If I wake up early enough, I'll give you a call.
Deal. But I know you, Mark. You'll probably stay in bed and look at your phone.
You're probably right. I'll try, though. It's a promise.
You know, Mark, when we talk about the future, many students get confused between will and going to. Like I just said, I'm going to start running because I have a plan. But you said, I'll join you because it was a sudden decision, right?
Exactly. I didn't plan to run until you mentioned it. So, will for the snap decision. It's a great tip for our listeners.
Let's get a bit deeper. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's a classic interview question, but it's interesting for life, too.
In 5 years, wow. I hope I'll be traveling the world for my photography. Maybe I'll be living in a different city. I don't think I'll stay in this apartment forever. It's too small. I'm going to look for a house with a big garden one day.
A garden sounds lovely. I think I'll still be here, but maybe I'll have written a book by then. That's my secret dream.
A book? What kind of book?
I think I'll write a collection of short stories. I have so many ideas in my head. I'm going to spend an hour every evening writing starting from next month.
That is a great goal. If you write every day, you'll definitely finish it. I'll be the first person to buy it.
Thanks, Mark. That means a lot. What about travel? You mentioned South America. Is there anywhere else you're going to go?
Well, if I have enough money, I'll go to Japan too. I've always wanted to see the cherry blossoms. But that depends on how much I save this year. I'm going to try to save 20% of my salary every month.
That's a lot of saving. I'm not very good at that. I usually see something I like and I buy it immediately. My bank account will probably be empty by December if I'm not careful.
You need a plan, Mark. Why don't you use a budget app?
That's a good idea. I'll download one tonight.
See? Another will for a quick decision.
You're learning fast. You know, setting goals is one thing, but sticking to them is another. How are you going to stay motivated with your new business?
I think I'm going to join a group of entrepreneurs. If I talk to other people who are doing the same thing, it'll be easier. We'll help each other.
That's smart. Community is everything. I think I'll look for a writing group too. It's easy to get lazy when you're working alone.
Definitely. So, to summarize for our listeners, we use going to for our plans and intentions, will for promises or things we decide right now, and the present continuous for things that are already in our diary.
Perfect summary. And remember, don't be afraid to talk about your dreams. Even if you don't know exactly how you will do it, just saying, I'm going to do this is the first step.
Well said, Sarah. Before we finish, what are you doing this weekend? Do you have any plans?
I'm visiting my grandmother on Saturday, and then on Sunday, I'm going to organize my office. I need a clean space for my writing. What about you?
I'm going to a photography exhibition in the city center. It'll be very inspiring, I think.
That sounds like fun. Well, I think that's all for today's episode.
I hope our listeners enjoyed this talk about the future. What are you going to do this year? Write to us and let us know.
Yes, we'd love to hear your...
You know, Sarah, while we were talking, I realized something. We always talk about the big goals like moving houses or starting businesses, but what about the small daily habits? If we don't change our daily routine, we won't achieve those big goals, will we?
That's a very deep point, Mark. You're right. It's like the saying, the future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. So, are you going to change any of your daily habits to help with your new photography business?
Actually, yes. I've decided that I'm going to spend the first hour of every morning reading about marketing. I realize that being a good photographer isn't enough. I will need to know how to sell my work. If I don't learn marketing, my business will probably fail within the first year.
That's a smart move. I'm doing something similar. To help with my book, I'm going to stop scrolling through social media before bed. Instead, I'll read a chapter of a novel. I think it'll help my brain stay in story mode.
That's a struggle for everyone, I think. We say, I'll just check one notification, and then an hour later, we're still looking at cat videos. I'll definitely try to do the same. Maybe I'll put my phone in another room at night.
That's a great strategy. If your phone isn't there, you won't check it. So let's talk about the fear of the future. Do you ever worry that your plans won't work out? For example, what will you do if the photography business doesn't make enough money in the first 6 months?
That's a scary thought, but I've already thought about a plan B. If I don't make enough money, I'll work part-time at the local gallery. They already told me they might need a manager next year. So I have a safety net. What about you? What if you start writing your book and then you get writer's block?
Oh, I'm sure I'll get writer's block at some point. Everyone does. But I'm not going to let it stop me. I've decided that if I can't write my story, I'll just write a diary or even just a shopping list. Anything to keep the habit going. I think the most important thing is that I won't give up.
That's the spirit. You know, I was reading an article yesterday about how our environment affects our goals. I think I'm going to redecorate my home office. I'm going to paint the walls a light blue color because they say blue helps with creativity.
Oh, I love that idea. I'll come over and help you paint if you want. I'm actually quite good at painting walls.
Really? That would be amazing. I'll buy the paint this weekend, and maybe we can start next Saturday?
Next Saturday? Let me check my calendar. Oh, wait. I'm going to a wedding next Saturday. My cousin is getting married in the countryside.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Will it be a big wedding?
Yes, I think there will be about 200 guests. It's going to be a long day, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to wear that vintage dress I bought in Italy.
You look great. Okay, so we won't paint next Saturday, maybe the Saturday after that?
Yes, that works for me. I'll put it in my diary. Painting Mark's office.
Perfect. Now, back to goals. I want to ask you about your social life. Do you have any future goals for your friendships or family?
That's a nice question. Actually, yes. I'm going to call my parents more often. Usually I only call them once a week, but I'm going to try to call them every 2 days. They are getting older and I want to spend more time talking to them.
That's very kind of you. My parents live quite a far away, so I'm going to visit them for a whole week in July. I've already booked my train tickets.
July is a beautiful time to travel. Will you take your camera with you?
Of course. I'll probably take 1,000 pictures. My dad will be annoyed because I'll ask him to pose for me all the time.
Dad, stand here. The light will be perfect in 5 minutes. I can see it now.
Exactly. But talking about all these plans makes me realize how busy we're going to be. Do you think we'll have time to keep doing this podcast?
We will make time, Mark. This podcast is one of my favorite things. I promise I won't cancel our recording sessions unless it's an emergency.
I promise to. In fact, I'm going to invest in some better microphones next month. If we want to grow the podcast, we'll need better sound quality.
Wow, you really are in business mode. New microphones, new office, new website. You're going to be a professional before we know it.
That's the goal. But let's take a break for a second. To our listeners, are you following the grammar? We used I'll buy, I'm going to invest, and I'm visiting. Can you tell the difference? One is a promise, one is a plan, and one is a fixed arrangement.
It's a lot to learn, but if you keep listening to us, you'll get it eventually. Mark, what about technology? How do you think the future will change for us in the next 10 years?
That's a huge topic. I think AI will be everywhere. Maybe we won't even need to edit our own photos or videos. A computer will do it for us. But I hope people will still value human creativity.
I agree. I don't think a robot will ever be able to write a book with a soul. At least, I hope not. If a robot writes a bestseller, I'll be very sad.
Don't worry, Sarah. Your stories will be unique because they come from your experiences. No computer can copy that.
I hope you're right. Anyway, speaking of the future, I am getting a bit hungry. Are we going to have lunch after this?
Yes, I'm starving. I'll take you to that new Italian place down the street. My treat.
Oh, really? That's so nice of you. I'll have the largest pizza they have.
I knew you'd say that. Okay, let's wrap up this part of the conversation. Speaking of the future, Sarah, there is one thing that I often worry about. It's not just about my business or my house. It's about the planet.
You mean climate change, right? It is hard not to think about it these days. The weather is becoming so unpredictable.
Exactly. I was watching a documentary last night, and it said that if we don't change our habits globally, the temperature will rise by 2 degrees very soon. I wonder, what will the world look like in 20 or 30 years?
It's a scary thought. I think we will see more extreme weather, more heat waves in the summer, and maybe more flooding in the winter. In fact, scientists say that many coastal cities are going to face serious problems because of the rising sea levels.
It's true. I read that some islands might even disappear. It makes me feel a bit guilty. I'm going to try to reduce my carbon footprint starting today. I've already decided I'm not going to buy plastic bottles anymore.
That's a great start, Mark. Every little bit helps. I'm going to do the same. Actually, I'm planning to become a vegetarian next month. I've heard that the meat industry has a huge impact on the environment.
Wow, a vegetarian? That'll be a big change for you. I know how much you love steak. Will it be difficult for you to give it up?
It will be hard, definitely, but I'm going to learn some new recipes. If I learn how to cook delicious vegetarian food, I won't miss meat so much. I'm actually buying a vegetarian cookbook this afternoon.
That's the spirit. You're always so proactive. I think more people will start doing the same in the future. We will probably see more electric cars on the road too. My next car is definitely going to be electric.
I agree. I think petrol cars will become very rare in 10 or 15 years. Governments are going to pass more laws to protect nature. They have to, or we won't have a future to plan for.
True. But do you think technology will save us? Some people say that we'll find a way to fix the atmosphere using advanced machines.
I'm not sure. Technology will help, but I don't think it will be a magic solution. We will still need to change how we live. For example, we will have to stop wasting so much energy. I'm going to install solar panels on my roof if I move to a new house.
That's a smart plan. Solar energy is getting cheaper every year. I think in the future, every house will produce its own electricity. We won't depend on big power plants as much.
And what about travel? We love traveling, but planes are terrible for the environment. Do you think we will stop flying?
I don't think we will stop completely, but maybe we will fly less. Or maybe they'll invent green airplanes. Scientists are already working on hydrogen-powered planes. Maybe in 2040 we'll be flying across the ocean without any pollution.
That sounds like a dream. I'm flying to Japan on a hydrogen plane. It has a nice ring to it. But until then, I'm going to take the train whenever I can. It's slower, but you see more of the countryside.
I love train journeys. If I go to Europe next year, I'll take the Euro. It's such a classic way to travel.
It really is. You know, Mark, even though the topic of climate change is heavy, talking about these solutions makes me feel a bit more optimistic. We will find a way to adapt. Humans are very good at surviving.
I hope so, Sarah. I really do. I want our children and grandchildren to see the same beautiful forests and oceans that we see today. So I'm going to make a promise right now. I'm going to join a local environmental group. We're meeting this Sunday to clean up the local beach.
That's wonderful. Can I come too? I'm not doing anything on Sunday morning.
Of course. I'll send you the details. We're meeting at 9 a.m. near the pier. Bring some gloves.
I will. It'll be a good way to start the week, doing something good for the future while enjoying the fresh air.
Exactly. Well, we've covered a lot today, from our personal careers to the future of the whole planet.
It's been a great conversation, and for our listeners, we hope you've learned some useful words like carbon footprint, renewable energy, and environment.
And don't forget to practice your future tenses. Try to write down one thing you are going to do to help the environment this week.
Great idea. Well, I think I hear my stomach growling again. Are we still going to that Italian restaurant?
Yes, we are. Let's go before you start eating the furniture. Sarah, while we were walking to the restaurant, I was thinking about my new business again. Do you think I will need to hire people in the future, or will robots do everything for us?
That's the big question, isn't it? Many people are worried that AI, artificial intelligence, will take all our jobs, but I don't think it's that simple.
I agree. For example, in photography, an AI can create an image, but it can't experience the moment. It won't feel the emotion of a wedding or the beauty of a sunset.
Exactly. However, I think the way we work is going to change fundamentally. In 10 years, most people won't work in traditional offices. We will probably work from anywhere in the world. Digital nomadism is going to become the normal way of living.
I love that idea. If I can work from a beach in Bali, I'll be very happy. But what about education? Will children still go to school, or will they learn through VR, virtual reality?
That's an interesting thought. I think we will see a mix. Schools won't disappear, but students will use VR headsets to visit ancient Rome or travel through the human body during science class. It'll be much more interactive. I'm actually going to attend a webinar about the future of education next Tuesday.
You're always learning something new. I'm attending a webinar, Perfect Use of the Present Continuous for a Fixed Plan.
Thanks. I'm curious to see how language learning will change too. Do you think people will stop learning English because of instant translation devices?
I don't think so. Even if we have a tiny device in our ear that translates everything, we will still want to connect with people directly. Speaking a language is about more than just words. It's about culture and friendship. I think people will always value the human touch.
I hope you're right. I'll be very sad if nobody wants to learn English with our podcast anymore.
Don't worry, Sarah. If anything, I think more people will use podcasts and videos to learn. Traditional textbooks will probably become obsolete. We're going to be part of that revolution.
That's a positive way to look at it. But let's talk about the dark side for a moment. What will happen to privacy? If technology is everywhere, will we ever be truly alone?
That's a tough one. I think we will have to be more careful. Maybe we'll have tech-free zones in the future, like you'll go to a park and there will be a sign saying no signals allowed here.
I would love that. I think I'll buy a house in a forest one day, far away from all the satellites and 5G towers. I'll just have my books and my garden.
But you just said you were going to be a famous author. If you live in a forest, how will you go on book tours?
Oh, I forgot about that. Well, maybe I'll use a hologram. I'm giving a speech in London, New York, and Tokyo at the same time, via hologram.
Now you're thinking like a sci-fi writer. But seriously, if technology continues to grow this fast, what skills do you think will be most important in 2035?
I think critical thinking and creativity will be at the top of the list. Computers are good at data, but they aren't good at solving complex human problems. Also, adaptability. If you can't learn new things quickly, you'll struggle.
Adaptability. I like that. I'm going to focus on that. I'm not just going to learn photography, I'm going to learn video editing, drone piloting, and maybe even basic coding. I'll be a one-man media company.
That's the spirit. You'll be unstoppable, Mark.
And what about health? Do you think we'll live to be 150 years old?
Scientists say that the first person who will live to 150 has already been born. Medical technology is going to be incredible. We will have tiny robots in our blood, nanobots, that will fix diseases before we even feel sick.
150 years? Wow. If I live that long, I'll have enough time to learn every language in the world.
And I'll have enough time to write 100 books. But wait, if everyone lives that long, the planet will be very crowded. We will definitely need to live on Mars by then.
Mars? Are you going to move to Mars, Sarah?
No way. I like the blue sky and the ocean too much. I think I'll stay here on Earth. You can go to Mars and send me photos.
Deal. I'll be the first photographer on the Red Planet. Mark's Martian Moments.
There you go with that name again. Anyway, Mark, look at the time. We've been talking for ages.
Time flies when you're talking about the future. I think our listeners have a lot of new vocabulary to look up now.
Definitely. Words like digital nomad, virtual reality, hologram, and nanobots.
Before we go to lunch, let's do one last check. To our listeners, what is your prediction for the next 10 years? Will we have flying cars, or will we all be living in virtual worlds?
Let us know. And remember, the future isn't just something that happens to us, it's something we create with our decisions today.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to open the door for you, Sarah. After you.
Thank you, Mark. Let's go eat that pizza. I think I'll have extra cheese today.
Well said. I think we should wrap things up now. We've talked a lot, and I think our listeners have plenty of material to practice with.
I agree. Before we go, Mark, tell everyone what we are going to talk about in the next episode.
Sneak peek. Next week, we're going to discuss food and culture. We'll talk about our favorite dishes from around the world and how food brings people together.
Oh, I love that topic. I'm going to be very hungry during that recording.
Me too. We'll probably have to order more pizza afterwards.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. Your support means the world to us.
Yes, thank you. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who is also learning English. It really helps us grow.
And don't forget to practice. Write down 3 things you are going to do next week and 3 things you think will happen in the world in the next 10 years.
Great homework. Well, it's time to say goodbye. I'm going to turn off the microphones.
And I'm going to start my running habit, maybe tomorrow.
We'll see about that. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you next time.